Hello and good day everyone. I'm Madam Rafisa bint Azizan, your instructor for topic 5 entitled Introductions to Classification System. In this topic, you are going to learn about the introductions to classification. This topic will prepare you for overview of classification systems, Library of Congress classification system, Dewey Decimal Classification System, advantages of using classification schemes, and disadvantages of using classification scheme. I hope you are ready to learn about this topic. Let's go. The learning outcome for these topics at the end, students should be able to know the classification scheme used in library and know the arrangements of the library collection. Okay, first, let's we learn on the overview of classification system. Basically, when we visit the library, we will see huge collections in a various of format. There has unprinted format such as books, newspaper, and there has also on a non-printed format consists of electronics and digital information such as compact discs, cartographic materials, computer files, or even electronic journals or books and many more. Therefore, it's necessary for library to organize those materials by using classification system. Now, let's proceed to the next slide for you to learn more on classification system. There has two chief purpose of classification systems in the library. First, to provide a basis for organizing books and material so that it can be easily found and quickly used by user. Second, it also means of bringing materials on the same subject together so that they can easily and conveniently use library material. Therefore, two major classification schemes has been widely used by most libraries in the world, which are Library of Congress or LCC, Dewey Decimal Classifications or DDC. For your information, there has many more classification schemes available globally such as universal decimal classifications or colon classifications. However, it depends on the library to adopt this scheme based on their use. Now we discuss on the uses of classification. First is groups materials on the same subject. For example, economics, international business, or operation management will be located in one shelf area. Second, it allows easy storage and retrievals of materials. Normally, user will locate library materials by use of call number, which user will retrieve from the library catalogs or OPEX. Then they will go straight away to the shelf to get for the material. Third, shows the main subject areas of a library collections. As I explained in my first point, all the subject will be grouped in one subject, even economics or international business or operation management, so it will locate in one main area under the business and management subject. Before we proceed with the Library of Congress and Dewey Decimal Classifications, let's we looks on the notation. Notations used to represent subject and can be differ according to the classification scheme. Notations consist of alphabets, numbers, and symbols used in the classification scheme. Two types of notations can be found are pure notations and mixed notation. Pure notations use only numbers or alphabet. Mixed notations use numbers and alphabets, what we call as alphanumerics. This slide shows you examples of pure notations and mixed notations. Hopefully, you are able to understand and distinguish between these two types. Now, I will explain on the classification schemes and I will start with Library of Congress classification. Library of Congress was founded in year 1800. This is the monk classification scheme, the earlier used by the library. LCC used in most of academic library, and Library of Congress will group all the subjects into 21 primary classes. These primary classes were represented by the letters and alphabet. LCC combines the letters of the alphabets and Arabical numbers, known also as a mixed notations, as it categorized into 21 broad categories, labeled from A until Z, except for the alphabet I, O, W, X, Y, not used in Library of Congress classification. Based on this example, students are able to understand that LCC used letter to represent its subject. For example, under the science subject, use letter Q. And under the science subject, there has also sub-discipline on the geology, for instance. Hence, this sub-discipline will be under the QE and followed by the numerical. Another examples TK7800. This call number represent under the materials or the books under the subject electronic. For the shelving arrangement, I recommended you students to refer my video presentations under the topic 5.3 titled Shelving Arrangement. Beside LCC, Dewey Decimal Classification used article numbers decimally to signify the various classes of subject. DDC divide all knowledge as represented by the books and other materials into 10 classes, which numbered from 000 until 9000. Call numbers in DDC use numbers and decimal. That is called pure notation. Most of school libraries and public libraries are organized using DDC. For the shelving arrangement, Madam recommends students to refer video presentations under the topic 5.3 Shelving Arrangement. Finally, before we end for this topic, let's have some conclusions on advantages and disadvantages of the classification schemes or systems. For advantages, shelving books are more consistent, as this call number will act as address to retrieve the materials in the locations. Next, retrievals of the books or the material become more straightforward. Library user can look for the clear labels on each book instead of the book's authors and the title, which might be difficult to read along the spine. Lastly, browsing the book is made easier. However, the disadvantage of classification schemes or the system, not all subjects may be catered for the scheme, especially for the new subdiscipline or a new knowledge, such as big data. Furthermore, users can be confused by what the class mark represent. Often, there is no recognizable link between the subject and the book. And a book given the wrong class number and shelved out of its subject area could be lost forever and not used by the library user. There are some cases whereby a library staff incorrectly giving a call number to the books. For example, re-engineered economy. This library staff thought it would be under the engineering field, but actually this materials is on the economics field. So she or he has mistakenly given the wrong call number. It's not be found by the user. Thank you for your passionate listening. Hopefully, students will be able to know the classification scheme used in library and know how library organize its materials or collection. Bye.